What's up? Thermador owner and aspiring mall Santa Allan Chappelear here. This is a very special episode because today we kick off the holiday season. Can you edit like sparkles in? Chances are if you own a Thermador, you're hosting. So I'm gonna give you some recipes, some Thermador tricks, so you don't get a 1-star Yelp review from your father-in-law like I did last year. And if this is your first holiday with a new Thermador, first of all, congratulations, that's awesome. Second of all, don't stress. I'm gonna give you some great tips and tricks to level up your cooking. So pour yourself a glass of wine and let's start making a delicious holiday dinner. Today we're making 4 holiday classics with a modern twist. A big ol' hunk of prime rib, aka standing rib roast, citrus and ginger glazed carrots, roasted Brussels sprouts with pomegranate, and a classic take on mashed potatoes. We've got reds, we've got greens, we've got fresh carrots. I guarantee minimum, if you mess this up, this dish will at least look like it tastes good. And that's what counts. Take your meat out of the fridge about 2 hours to 3 hours before you throw it in the oven. It's called tempering. Don't be putting cold meat in the oven. It'll cook unevenly, it'll be all weird, you'll have squishy parts, you'll have crispy parts. You just don't do it. What we're gonna do is get that oven super hot, sear for 20 minutes, and then dial down to 220 and slow roast till it comes up to a perfect medium rare. It might look like I'm putting a lot of salt on it. It's because I am, but look at the size of this piece of meat. It seeps in. All right, set that aside until the oven heats up and let's do the potatoes. Have you ever met somebody who doesn't like mashed potatoes? No, you haven't. Here's a tip, smaller pieces boil more quickly, which means less time waiting, less people standing around asking you when food's gonna be ready. Nothing fancy here, cold water, cubed potatoes, Thermador on high. Ah, oven's hot. Meat's in, bake mode, 450, 20 minutes. Now, on to everybody's favorite food, Brussels sprouts. Best way to make Brussels sprouts not taste like Brussels sprouts is to pan roast them. Cut this little stem section because it's gross and hard, and then you split them in half. All right, sprouts are done. On to the carrots. So roasted carrots in a citrus ginger glaze. I chose this because our farmer's market has tons of big ugly carrots right now, including this super weird one that I can't stop laughing at. A lot of people aren't used to cooking with juice, but it makes for a very interesting face. I told you I can't stop laughing at this stupid carrot. All right, there we go. That's what you want to see. Got good color on the fat, crust starting to develop. Now we're gonna make our rub. And like all good rubs, it starts with a tremendous amount of garlic. We got garlic, we got thyme, we got this Creole mustard, a little black pepper, mix that joker up. Now for the fun part, rubbing. Take that rub you just made and dollop. You want to dollop it liberally. Is dollop an official measurement? All right, now that your meat is sufficiently dolloped, we're gonna throw it back in the oven at 220 for another hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on the size of your roast. Just watch the temperature internally because you don't want to overcook it. This is the part where you're really gonna love your Thermador. We're gonna have 4 cooktops going at the same time. You're gonna have plenty of space still. Sprouts. We cut them, now we're gonna cook them. Put this flat side down, get a nice caramelized crust on that while the rest cooks through. Starburner giving us a nice even heat so we know they're all cooking the same. Carrot time. We've washed them, we've trimmed them, we've laughed at them. Now we're gonna cook them and eat them. Cooktop, bring it to just below medium. Little olive oil and some butter. Now for the sauce. Orange juice, garlic, shallot, ginger. Little salt, a little pepper, and the sauce. Give it a little toss. Last one. I totally know what I'm doing. Instead of just dumping everything into a pot and mashing it up, our cream, our butter, our garlic, we're gonna infuse this heavy cream with garlic, with bay leaf, and this lets you really develop those flavors before you put them into the mashed potatoes. Now you just let it roll. Look at that festive red color. You just kind of take your thumb and run it through and they'll pop right out. So we're gonna use that later to garnish the Brussels sprouts. Carrots are done. We got another 30, 40 minutes on the roast. I'm gonna show you another thing I love about the Thermador. It's an absolute game changer. Is the warm mode on the convection oven. You set it to warm, put your food in, it stays warm, it doesn't cook any further, but it's ready to go when you are. It's time. The roast is done. There it is. I'm liking the way that looks, and it smells super good. You gotta let your meat rest. Same way you gotta temper your meat, you gotta rest it. That lets everything kind of reincorporate, cools it down. If you pull it out, cut right into it, all that good juice and flavor you've been building up over the past few hours is gonna leak out all over the place. While this rests, it's time to mash those potatoes. We've got the cream all infused. Now we're just gonna run that through a strainer. A little messy. Garlic clogging up the strainer. Oh yeah, that's what's up. Now we mash. This is the workout of the day. All right, so gravy time. We have one more secret ingredient that I told you about, and that is duck fat. That's gonna be the foundation for your gravy. Doesn't look like much, but it's delicious. It's gonna make your gravy next level. Add the duck fat to the drippings in the roasting pan to start a roux for our gravy. So that's all our fats, all our juices, all our drippings just simmering. So now we're gonna add a cup of flour to start our roux. If you don't know, a roux is the foundation sauce in most of French and Cajun cooking. It's basically equal parts flour, equal parts fat. You gotta stir a lot. You don't want that flour to burn. So the great thing about the Thermador is it has the extra low settings, which is a highly controlled flame. It maintains a specific temperature setting by cycling the heat on and off, so you never have to worry about burning. So we're gonna finish this gravy with some custom Chappelear bourbon. It's gonna add an element of smokiness, a little bit of sweetness. When you're simmering, the alcohol cooks out and you're just left with all those good sugars in the smoke. So you don't have to worry about kids getting drunk off your gravy. Now that the roux is a nice walnut paste, we're gonna add beef broth to it until it becomes a nice gravy consistency. That's what we're looking for right there, that silkiness. And thanks to the extra low setting, we haven't come close to burning anything. This gravy is perfect. Looks like chocolate. I wanna fondue this. That about does it. This food's ready to be plated, and these dogs are circling like sharks in the water knowing there's a giant hunk of beef on the counter. Isn't that right, Cole? And there you have it. Beautiful 8-pound, 7-ounce rib roast and 3 delicious sides. Let's cut into it. Make sure we didn't mess it up. Look at that. The fat break down, the crust, good pink color. We did it. I am super pleased with this, and I hope it inspires you to come up with your own holiday feast. So from my family to yours, and my Thermador to yours, cheers. We did it. Happy holidays.